As the fans are rising to their feet, played short for win. Back out wide for Tierney. Tierney's ball in. Roma stays at home. It's knocked down the doorstep. It's in. The Revolution have their goal. Charlie Davies.
Guys, thanks for joining me to reminisce on the 2014 season and our incredible run to MLS Cup. I thought it would be fun to share some of the best memories from that year, whether it be in the games, training, or on the field, off the field. First off, how's everyone doing? Let's go.
Blessed.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Some wild times.
Amazing.
Family right now.
Everybody's
Seeing
got the
some
long
old
hair.
faces there. Yeah.
It's good to see.
JJ, why don't you start us off?
What do you want?
What's your best memory from the 2014 year?
I would say that in general, the whole team. I think the whole atmosphere of the team and everything. Like, I think we all can agree to it that it felt like a brotherhood. You know, like we all bounded really good, and we had that's on the field, of course. But then I think the whole package, going out, watching football games on Sundays, and all that stuff. I think it was an amazing time.
Darius Barnes, what do you think about the year? What were some of the highs in your mind?
Yeah, I think it's just the matter, like the differences. It was like 2 seasons in one. We started off, decently, and then I think it was like a 15-game like winless streak or something like that. And then how we turned the season around and really hit our stride, towards the end of that season and make a run to MLS Cup. Was something special. And then just kind of what JJ touched on, just, we had a real family atmosphere. You could really see it on and off the pitch. We win together, lose together, go out together. So it was just a fun group of guys to be around.
Mullins, you were a rookie and you started off hot. What was your initial thought of MLS and the Revolution locker room?
I would echo the same. It felt like a brotherhood. I think a lot of guys on this call made it really easy to be a young guy in the group and just to kind of know your role, know your part to play. And for me, that was bringing a lot of energy, bringing some goal scoring, and just whatever I could do to help the team win at that point.
Nooms, same thing for you. Rookie, the adjustment. What was difficult in that first year, and what do you really miss about that 2014 squad?
It was difficult. I don't know. Hanging out with dorms in the locker room, maybe that was a little difficult. trying to understand his accent. No, but it was definitely a great locker room dynamic, and I think just the talent we had on the field, it was fun to practice day out with everybody, and then compete on the weekends. I think the most memorable part for me was the playoffs, and I think just the momentum that we carried through, and we weren't necessarily at top of mind to make it to MLS Cup, but we really hit our stride. And I think like after those games in the locker room were some of the best memories I have of just celebrating with the guys and looking forward to the next round.
Kevin Alston, you were a vet. What was so different about that 2014 team than the prior Revolution teams that you played on?
I think the chemistry. I mean, we've all said it. I think you're only as good as like how close and together and strong your team is as a unit. And I just felt like we just had the right group of guys and we all clicked. And honestly, for me, I miss being in like that locker room environment where it was just, jokes going around, flying, it was just a good place to be, man. I miss that feeling. And I think that's a big part of what really took us to the finals. That and JJ coming in the summer, I think that really turned it around for us.
That's the right one.
You have to say that. How much did he pay you? For real, how much did he pay you to say that?
Keep it real, Doc. Keep it real.
Kev is right.
It was per diem for one trip.
Kev is good. Kev is right.
Teal,
Neto.
during the season, we struggled at times. Did you ever think it was possible that we would go on this incredible run and get to an MLS Cup?
We struggled about 14 times.
14. What'd you ask? What'd you say?
You, Teal.
I said to you.
Oh, my bad. What?
Yeah, like
What?
mid-year.
Did I think it was going to be
we were
possible?
struggling. Did you even think we'd get into a playoffs?
I'll be honest. I initially did not think making the playoffs was going to be possible for us. I mean, obviously, we all can say it. We were a tight-knit group. There was bonds. There was good times. You know, even if maybe trainings weren't going well, even the games weren't going well, we were able to still get along. You know, there was not many egos or anything like that. But I mean, if someone would have asked me for sure, you know, during that bad stretch, hey, do you think there's a chance you're going to make the playoffs? I probably would have said, honestly, no. I mean, we're going to continue to play hard and do all those things, but it didn't seem like it was going to be a possibility. But I think it was a testament to how well we got along, how well we were able to play together. You know, and that's a style of a good team, is being able to go through those tough times and, you know, push each other. And ultimately we were able to make it to the MLS Cup. And obviously it was a tough one in the end, but still a memorable season.
Diego, you had your breakout year in 2013, and then 2014, we go on this run midsummer. What were your initial thoughts heading into 2014? Were you thinking that, man, this is the year for me and for the club, or was it kind of another year of growth for you?
No, I was definitely hoping it was going to be the year that we would win it. I remember it was one of my best years, 2013, and I was just trying to bring everything I could to 2014. From what I remember, I don't think I played a lot in the 2014 season, but it was still one of those where in the locker room I was still trying to work hard, still trying to be with the group, and throughout it all, as tough as it was, it made me a better player at the end, especially learning from everybody in there. Veteran players who were there, players who came from other countries and other places, taught me a lot. And now I can bring all that to the table and help others to grow in MLS. And hopefully I can keep going many more years.
Forms. This question is for a vet who's kind of seen how we played in the start of the year and the end of the year. Was the acquisition of JJ just him coming into this team what we needed to get over the hump, or was it we always had a good enough squad to get into the playoffs, but he was kind of that final piece to get us to be playing at our best?
I think from being inside the locker what's up, man? I think from being inside the locker room, I think everybody felt the lift, and I think for me, it was the final piece. I think the year before, when we got beat by Kansas City in the playoffs at their place, we were close, but yeah, we were just missing something. And I think Jermaine brought that, and I think he brought better performances out of most of the team, to be honest. And then that kind of carried through into the playoffs. I think we obviously got hot at the right time, and that carried us through the playoffs. And I think the team spirit that was there possibly a little bit the year before kind of kicked in as we went through the slump, because I don't think it was a case of everyone falling out or anything like that. It was a case of how we're going to fix it together, and obviously fixed it. And from pretty much that first win, who was that against? The first win where it was
Colorado.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
From then on, the momentum built, and then it was so enjoyable to be around and in the locker room at that time. And then obviously leading into the MLS Cup, it was great.
Farrell, can you talk about your relationship with Teal on the right side and how that developed throughout the year? I mean, we lose 8 games straight, and then Jermaine comes in the team, and then that right side, you guys just locked it down. What was the difference?
I don't know if we necessarily locked it down. I think the team was just playing better, playing confident. I think we were getting wins. I think it seemed like every game we went into, it didn't matter like who we were playing against or what the matchups were. We're just gonna end up winning. Someone was gonna make a play. But yeah, I think our confidence was strong, and we had a good connection on the right side. But I think the whole team was just playing like I said. Every game we went into, we just didn't seem like we were gonna not get 3 points, and that continued throughout the playoffs. I feel like.
Shaw Reed, you came back to your hometown team, the Revs. You've been gone for a while. What was that locker room like? How does that compare to your championship teams in the mid-2000s when you had that 3 back-to-back-to-back MLS Cup final appearances. How was this team different from those teams?
Well, in 2014, I didn't play any game at all, but I got to practice pretty much a lot of times. I spent was on the practice field, and I learned a lot just from being in the practice field. And then at game time, I get to watch you guys, and it definitely showed the kind of character that was in the locker room, being a part of it. I think with the acquisition of JJ, that probably was the key that pushed the team over the top to help us to get to the finals. I thought he brought in a great performance pretty much in every game, and then during practice and during games, he definitely made everyone better. But with our team, I thought we was more a well-rounded team. We had quality on every position, and the difference was, it wasn't a huge difference. It definitely stemmed from a little bit of unity. I think for any team to be successful, there has to be that huge bond, there has to be unity, and there has to be able to get along on and off the field. And with our 3 MLS Cup run in a row, it was definitely on and off the field togetherness that brought us to those championships. We had quality players all over, but I thought the off the field things that we did, especially in the 2004 group, it definitely helped us to solidify and to make us a better team, especially later in the season. When you face adversity like that as a group together, it can only make you stronger. It can make you fold. And fortunate for us, we was able to make us a stronger team and make us stronger character players. And it showed the run we made in the 2014 MLS Cup finals.
Before we get into the second leg of the Eastern Conference Final, NBC Sports will be re-airing this match on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can watch on TV over on NBC Sports Boston or stream the action via NBCSportsBoston.com. Now we're going to get into the playoff run. Teal, you had made a playoff run with Sporting Kansas City. How is this different? What were the expectations heading into the playoffs this go around versus your MLS Cup championship with Sporting Kansas City?
I think one of the bigger differences was the run with Sporting KC was, I think the expectations were a little higher. The season was a little bit more like fluid. There wasn't a big dip in our form with Kansas City. I think expectations were high just with the whole rebranding of the club and the organization, new stadium. So a couple of years leading up to that moment. And I think the 2014 season was once again during those summer times where we kind of hit that lull and weren't winning any games, basically getting no results. I think the expectations were really low for us. So I think it was maybe not a surprise to all of us, but definitely to maybe fans or, media or whoever out there and other clubs across the league. But I think the biggest difference was the guys in the locker room, and we keep saying it, but it's the truth. So I think that was the big key difference, was the guys in the locker room and maybe having lower expectations. But even though we got along well and we knew what we could do, I think that helped us.
Last week, NBC Sports aired the first leg of the Eastern Conference Championship. Kev, getting a chance to watch it over, and you saw how Lloyd Sam was having fun on our left side. You were inserted to start in the second leg. What led to that decision? Did Coach Heaps talk to you beforehand? What were you expecting out of the game?
Yeah, he did talk to me. I mean, it was one of those conversations where, it's okay, this is your time. We need you to step up. We need you to lock down Lloyd Sam and just play your part. And I that my whole mentality is I've always been, win your individual battles. And I live for challenges like that, man. I love to play against every winger striker in the league, and I love that matchup. So when, I got the opportunity, I was ready to play my part and do what I could to keep a run going to get to the finals.
JJ, it's your first Eastern Conference Championship. Second leg, Thierry Henry, Tim Cahill, some of the bigger names in the league. What were you thinking heading into this second leg after you scored the game winner in the first leg?
I knew that it will be not an easy game. So I knew that they have the quality in the team and everything, and they will push to come back. But then at the end, I trusted always in the team, and I always said from day one I came, I said nobody's focused on this team, and they maybe don't have the big names, but we as a team, I knew that we can beat them because we always what everybody says in here. It's like we had this team atmosphere, like it was just like brothers in the locker room. We had so much fun, and we knew that we have to stick together to beat them in individual from man to man. They will maybe have the better names, but if we go there and we focus on that, what we trained or what we wanted to do, then we will get our chances, and that's how we made it. And this is why we made it to the final.
Farrell, what were you thinking going into this match? You had an important matchup on the right side because Henri tended to float out to the left wing. What were you thinking about during the game when you see Henri and you got to match up with him 1v1? And this is obviously an icon in our sport. So
I had a heart attack.
Bro, I don't remember any of those games.
Blacked out. He said, Henri who?
Okay, don't check.
I had AJ Soares coming for me a lot of times, and T-Bun's helping me out. But no, man. I mean, there's plays that he's just gonna do his thing. You know, I was just trying to, keep it consistent, try to help out as much as possible to defend, and hopefully not let him get as many goals.
You don't remember any of the matchups?
I mean, I remember the matchups. I remember plays he like.
So like, what did you do exactly? Because we were watching. I watched the first leg. I watched the second leg, and it seemed like you knew when to press him and when to back off and give him space.
I mean, I think just having obviously played against them just the weekend before, I'm sure there was things that we watched in the video to help him to help improve what I was doing. But no, it was just going out there and playing. I know we had a lot of confidence in the lineup we put out there, and no, I mean it's a tough matchup. What can I say? It was a tough matchup, but yeah.
Bro, you didn't study for it.
Tyrion, man.
My head out.
I'm sweating for you, man. I'm sweating for you.
Tough matchup, man. It was a fun game to play in, and it was a tough matchup.
Mullins, you were a big super sub. You were a big part of the team at the end of the year. What was your mindset heading into this match? And when halftime came, were you thinking, okay, this is a game where I could get some valuable minutes?
I would say coming on as a sub at MLS that year, I definitely had the mindset that in the last 10 minutes there were going to be chances. And that's kind of what happened in that first leg against New York is we were able to get a late goal. And I think that really gave us a good next step going to the second leg and to make sure that we were going to be strong at home. And I just remember a lot from that game. We talk about the talent that Red Bulls had, and I think we were aware of exactly what they were bringing to the table. I think the way we matched up against them really showed the type of quality we had as a team as well. Yes, we talk about our mentality as a team was strong, but obviously Teal scored a pretty spectacular goal in that game, and one that I won't forget. And I think it kind of really exploited some of the things that we did well and some of the things that they didn't do so well that year. So I think, we think of Lee, who had a great record year and MVP caliber year, and we would have a pretty dynamic front three that was running through the lines and coming off of them, and a stout defense that shut down the likes of Lloyd Sams and Thierry Henry. So I think that matchup was kind of coming at the right time for us. That goal that came with Teal and then the one at the end of the game set us up nicely to come back home, and obviously hope to have a good performance where we felt comfortable playing. And now I know what it's like to not be on the Reds and what it's like to go to Gillette. It's not a place a lot of people like to go and play, so it was definitely a big advantage to take that to the second leg.
Darius, halftime, it's 1-1. They got their away goal. What was going through your mind at that time?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out if I was going to drink red or blue Gatorade.
On the bed?
It was, feel me, dorms? News? What's up? No, seriously. I think it was just a matter of like rallying the group. Like obviously, for them to get the away goal, kind of puts a little dent in yourselves a little bit. But I still felt like the group had confidence, utmost confidence, and felt like we could still go on and and take the points to ultimately get to MLS Cup. So I mean, I felt like the group was still positive. You can see how we came out in the second half. Still have a bunch of energy and still kind of stuck to our game plan and, our way of playing and our tactics. So I think ultimately, our will and, how we wanted to play showed through.
I just keep thinking of the green voucher. When as soon as you said, when you come to your chair, you see a green voucher.
I was fortunate not to get the
Meal
green
ticket.
voucher that game.
Diego,
Grilled chicken sandwich.
second half's going on. What are you thinking at that time? Are you thinking, oh my God, we can get to an MLS Cup, or do you think it was even possible, or did you really feel that New York has momentum and I don't think we're going to see this one out?
While I was warming up, all I remember was this is going to be the hardest 20, 30 minutes left of the game, and the time kept going, and then there was like 10 minutes left, and I was getting nervous, but I knew we had a chance with the quality players that we had. And I was getting ready. Maybe I had a chance to go in, and whoever had to go in had to step up. And I think that's what from the beginning, we knew that whoever went in the game is going to change the game for us. And we battled. I think that game we might have made 1 or 2 subs, if that, because it was such a tight game. But I knew that if we kept battling, we could make it far. And I think that was going to be our toughest game because it's our rival. It's a game that could go 50-50 either way, but whoever wanted it more was going to get it. And at the end of the day, the way we played and the way we battled and the way we were gonna win that game. And I never had doubt in our team. And after that game, I remember going and I was like, wow, we can go all the way. And that's what we did. And then unfortunately, it was a little short, but it was one of those things that it's going to happen in soccer. You're going to win, you're going to lose games, and you just have to move on from it and try to do it again next game.
Dorman, you were very close with the coaching staff. I remember feeling like you were on the coaching staff.
Jahib's son.
Yeah. What did they get right tactically for us?
In over the 2 legs or what we talk?
Yeah, both.
I mean, Kev, when did you come on in the first leg? Was it about 16?
What was Tommy saying? I want to know what Tommy was saying.
Kev, I think you're muted.
Yeah, Kev, he got muted for a sec there.
You're still muted.
It's the red button, Kev.
My bad. The first leg, I think I came on towards the end, it's like 70th maybe. I don't remember.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean, obviously that was one of the big things was Kev coming on, because I think Lloyd Sam was playing really, really well, and obviously that came into the mind with the second leg. I think it helped. Was it Bradley Wright Phillips when he tried to head the ball away from Bobby and he got himself suspended for the second leg? I think that probably helped a little bit of luck there, because I think he had a really good record against us. Obviously, Kale scored in the second leg, but if they'd have had him starting on and Kale coming on, or vice versa, it possibly would have given him a bit of an edge. But yeah, I mean, Kev starting and playing, and then Chris playing as the attacking left midfielder, and obviously serving the ball for your goal, which I'm sure you want to talk about at some point.
That's
and Jermaine tried to steal the first goal. Teal, you remember Jermaine for the first goal? He goes, yeah, that came off me.
Yeah, he tried to claim it. He
You tried to steal.
Go hit my shoulder.
Newman.
Right.
Final whistle blows. End of the game. Second leg. We're going to MLS Cup. It's your rookie season. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was sweet. I mean, that's one thing I remember from the game is the section of fans we had at Red Bull Arena and how loud they were. And after the game, going over and clapping with them, and they hung around for a while after the game, which was pretty awesome. And you could sense, as folks have mentioned already, that you could sense heading back to Gillette that we had a good chance to keep it going. So there was a lot of excitement in the air. Locker room again was a great time. So I think a few of us had a good time after the game. So I think there was a lot of momentum heading towards the second leg for sure.
Is your computer underwater?
Not here.
Uber Steve.
You got the stage. Darius, stop it.
Call him Scuba Steve.
But Mullen, stop going at noon.
Small roommate right there. Just a little love for him.
Are you kidding me?
Quincy, baby.
Yo, does anybody remember Rev Direction?
Do I remember? Yes.
Was that
For the guys who don't remember, let me just tell the story real quick.
All right.
Hey,
Share it,
I got a bedtime soon, so I might have to leave, but carry on.
All right, it's quick one. So during the summer, while we were somewhere towards the end of our losing streak, we were down. And One Direction was performing at Gillette that year. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we were all talking about it. Me, Newman, and Macca made a video, like a spoof video. And I just remember because everybody in the locker room was so mad at us. Like, how could you guys joke around right now, post a video like that? And I think it was the week after we posted that video, I don't think we lost again until the final.
It was definitely because of the video.
Yeah.
That was it. That started the run. That started the run for sure.
D, why didn't you get involved in that group?
No, I let them have that one.
Who was it, Kim? It was you, Macca, and Steve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
That
group.
sounds about right.
Hey, Charlie, how were you feeling after that game? I know you're hosting it, but you're banging 2 goals. You know we're going to the MLS Cup final. Hometown hero. How are you feeling?
Stanky legs.
Well, you know, and I think you all knew at the time, you know, I've had some ups and downs, and especially in that 2014 season, you know, you start preseason off. I'm trying to do everything I can in the off season, right? I'm going to Nicky Downing's gym, doing all that extra running. I'm pulling sleds. I pull my calf, right? I pull my calf. I'm trying to do too much. Then that takes 2 months.
Did you post any videos on that though?
2 months, I'm out trying to battle back. Mullen starts. He's hot. Then I'm behind Bengtson. I'm behind Dimitri Mbongo. I'm behind Sayer Sen. I'm the last guy. And I just got to keep working, waiting for my chance. I didn't get my first start until July against FC Dallas. Play 60 minutes or so, subbed. I'm like, okay, I did all right. Next game, not a minute. And then Jay Heaps goes, you know what? I'll give you a start. We play Colorado. I play well. I think we won the game. And then I get the start at Red Bull. You get me the assist on my first goal for the club. And then it was kind of the confidence was at my peak. And then I felt like in tune with everybody. And we just kind of moved on from there. Then we got JJ. It was just we all were happy to come to training. The intensity was high in practice. And then when we got into the locker room, it was always about joking. You never felt like you wanted to rush out. It was like you felt you were going to miss something if you weren't there in that locker room. You always wanted to come in proper too, with the right clothes on, because the banter was always at an all-time high. So for me, it was my favorite season as a professional soccer player. When I look at the locker room, the results we had, we got to an MLS Cup. Sure, I feel like we should have won it. But with that all being said, that locker room, that group of guys was the absolute best from start to finish.
Can I just say, you guys hear that when he said we all got like dressed and everything to come for him? I think the only one who got dressed was you, my friend.
Yeah.
You always high jeans.
Oh, Mr. Louboutin coming into the stop it.
Wait, what about Farrell? Farrell had Star Hero.
Oh no! Don't start this, please. No. Oh.
Shari,
SpongeBob.
Shari, this one's for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about the fans. Were the fans on a different level in 2014 than they were in 2005, 6, 7? Was there a bigger crowd? Was there more energy and excitement around the building?
Yeah, I definitely think 2014, especially with the later set of games and the playoff run, I thought it was the most electrifying stadium. I thought it was the best fans that year. And I think it definitely had to do with games winning and then the acquisition of JJ. He brought in something that we didn't have a lot of that year in terms of having a lot of fans come to the game. And when he showed up, there was a lot more people interested in coming to the games. And then when we started going on the roll, was fun to see that a lot of people came through. Like they came and
Don't say
support,
that.
and
JJ is here.
yeah, it was. They didn't realize how important he was, not just off the field, but from a marketing standpoint. He definitely helped us in that aspect. He had more people coming to the game. The game was fun to go. Even in pre-game warm-up, you would have a lot more people tailgating, and all those things played a huge part in us being the success that we had that year. So I think it was important to have that kind of chemistry and that kind of bond with the fans.
Quickly, I'm going to go by each person. Tell me your favorite moment off the pitch in the 2014 year. Start with UK.
Okay. Okay.
Favorite moment off the pitch. Oh man, I'm gonna have to really think about that.
Yeah, you can't. I don't. That's a tough one to like.
Probably
what comes right off the top of your mind?
Probably the flight out to LA for the Cup when we had to make 3 stops.
So, but which stop in particular? The one in Texas or the one in Nashville?
Yeah,
we passed LA and then we had to go back. They're like, you guys win against LA. You will win. Just pass LA and then come back.
But for real though, like when we were out there though, I think in the hotel, the reception we had and everybody's family was there. And I think the club flew out everybody's family. I think that was a good moment just because we were sharing the experience together. You know, it wasn't just us as a team, but we brought our family into it. So,
yeah.
Earl?
Me? I think playing against Columbus, I think that series against Columbus, I think that was pretty fun.
Dorman?
Yeah, just right after the New York win, to be honest, looking around in the locker room, just kind of taking it all in. I think was it you and your brother as well that were going crazy on the field?
Yeah.
It was just like
absolute
seeing
tears, huh?
Water ones.
Yeah, it was pretty big. Like seeing people mixing with their families on the field after and everybody celebrating together. That was probably the highlight for me.
Diego?
I think it was after the Columbus, like Pharaoh said, when we flew the private jets, and I remember they got us what the bottles of champagne or whatever it was, and we had a special moment right there because we knew we were going into the playoffs after what we had to win the last 5 games to qualify into the playoffs, and that's what we did. And I think that was a special moment for us.
Teal?
Pick one thing. I can't pick one thing. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
How about the first leg after you bang that goal?
No, I mean, I thought you said outside of it. Like,
yeah, I mean, just any moment, your favorite moment.
No, I really just loved how we would all like kind of in a loving like brother way, like crush each other, pump each other up. Like that stuff was like so much fun to me. You know, people getting their feelings hurt, but then the next day it being totally fine. Maybe taking a couple weeks, you know, to like kind of rebound back. I'm not gonna say any names, but no, that to me was like the most fun. Obviously, all the games and winning and the fans and that stuff's great, but like, yeah.
JJ?
I would say after the Eastern Conference, the final, when we went to, I think we met all at the bar in Boston, and we were hanging around there and had a good night. I think there was a special day because everybody was together. But then what I really miss is like the Sundays, going like just watching football and like everybody's out, you know. I think that was like the best times, like especially outside of the pitch.
D?
I think it's when Jose stitched up his own hamstring.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
my man pulled his hamstring in the second minute of the game. I'm starting to get warmed up, and then my man says, "No, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah, that was something. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Shalri?
There's a lot of memories from that year that I can touch on, but I think the funnest part was just being on the field afterwards and being able to celebrate with everyone, even just being a part of that and having the trophy in our hands and being able to celebrate in front of our fans, and everyone was just there and it was chanting and we was enjoying ourselves. And then we went back to the locker room and then there was champagne everywhere. I think that we didn't have that champagne. We went to the MLS Cup 4 times, 3 times in my time and 4 times before that. And we didn't have that much champagne in those 4 years that we had afterwards. just going back to the locker room and champagne and beers and having Budweiser and just spraying all over us and just enjoying that moment. I think it's one of those moments and memories that would last for me forever.
Nooms?
How's the audio doing? Are we still underwater?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mullins?
Please get Newman a new computer or something, man.
Probably for me, we went out to dinner in Hoboken the night before. I think it was the night before the first leg of the playoff game against Red Bull, and kind of summing up all the good times we had off the field. I just remember it being a really good dinner as well.
I'm surprised no one said St. Patrick's Day at cafeteria. I'm a little surprised. But my favorite moment is definitely after we won the Eastern Conference Championship and we went to cafeteria and we were all together. And, you know, the vibe of the team was like, we love each other. Like, this is a family and we're going to celebrate together. So that's definitely the highlight of the year for me with the group of guys, and seeing the confetti hit the field after that final whistle. It felt like we won the Super Bowl. Like, that's what it felt like. It was one of those rare moments you get in sports. We didn't win the MLS Cup, but that night, that day felt special. It felt like nothing I've ever experienced before. So thank you guys for sharing the moments with me. It's been fun, and I hope everyone keeps safe and stays healthy. And let's do this more often.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
You sent us that link earlier, man.
Yeah, that's on Dave Cherubin. Let's not forget. But remember, the game
under the bus.
The game is on NBC Sports Boston. We'll be re-airing this Saturday, 4 p.m. You can watch it on TV over on NBC Sports Boston or stream the action via NBCSportsBoston.com. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Wide again for Tierney. Tierney's cross.